Rise for the month of Ramadan. Oh, Ramadan.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. As usual, I'm Prof.Dr. Muhammad with your program Blessings of Ramadan, and this is a very special series by ARYQ TV. I believe the efforts regarding preparation of this special program for you would be resulting in shape of practices, because Quran and Sunnah are the basic sources for us not to read and keep in shelf. We will have to act upon, we will have to follow, and then we would see what are the results, what we get from these basic sources of Islam. Anything, whatever happens before us, can be accepted or rejected. There are so many examples from the pages of history. Those who accepted realities and followed Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are identified successful people. Those who negated or turned down to accept the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are losers. Even today, if we want to be successful, we will have to practice, and we should not ask for the reward, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He promises, He always says truth. That's why He would give us benefits more than our expectations. What is message of Ramadan, and how Ramadan should be celebrated, and how we would continue the practices which we had during Ramadan is most important for us. So today we will discuss lessons from Ramadan. While we learn a theory, we need practice, and practice creates habit. This habit would be continuing for the next generation. It is onward. This is today's message, and this is today's aim to be evaluated scholarly or generally. In this regard, as usual, as our practice, as our convention, we invited a young man. He is here with us, and he'll be introducing himself, and let's see how this young man incorporates his viewpoint for our program. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Professor Kadrisa, for inviting me in your program. My name is Muhammad Iman Khan, and I'm currently studying in IBA, Institute of Business Administration, Karachi. I'm a teaching assistant at IBA of Socio-Economic and Political Philosophy of Islam.
So, social and economical conditions are the major issues in the world, and Islamic finances cannot be ignored, like in Islamic financial system cannot be ignored. Apart from this, let's see, being a part of Muslim community, we celebrate, Alhamdulillah, Ramadan Mubarak. We observe, because Ramadan and its fasting is obligatory, and this is our submission before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue our hunger, our thirst, not for the sake of people, but for the sake of His will, Jalla Jalaluhu, who is the creator of the entire universe, who is actual power,
Surely, yes.
Who is a true well-wisher and lover of humanity. He asks us to be like this, and we submit ourselves. But during the night, the last night of Ramadan, while Ramadan is departing, and Eid is coming, in between this, what should we do, and how should we continue our behavior, the practices during Ramadan?
Before coming to that answer, I would like to jump to the introduction.
This is not question answer. We are
obviously
before
coming to that dialogue, before answering that, before coming to that point of view, I would like to tell you about the introduction. It was such a beautiful introduction that you mentioned that not only we have to practice, we have to read Holy Quran, we need to practice Holy Quran.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, we just say things.
The purpose of Quran is to practice.
Sure it is.
Not to kiss and keep.
Yes, we just recite it, we just read it, we don't act upon it. We say things aloud, we don't act upon it. So it was a very healthy and a very valid point that you mentioned. Second thing, Alhamdulillah. And second thing which you asked about, that before the Eid is coming and Ramadan is departing, the nights. Laylatul Qadri khairu min alfi shahr. That it is, Ramzan is blessed with a night which is important and its worth value more than 1,000 nights.
And 29th of Ramadan is Laylatul Qadr.
Yeah, 29th.
So what people should do?
They should pray.
Go for firework or go for...
Obviously, they should get closer to the Lord of all. They should pray to the Lord.
They are so happy.
We
are so happy. We are so happy and involved in happiness. We forget that we recently, these are the moments of Ramadan Mubarak, and we are going through such big blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Alhamdulillah Eid is coming and it's almost to be seen and celebrated just after. But on 29th, which has also been referred by scholars, Muslim scholars, that it is one of the Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr min alf shahr. Tanazzulul malaika. The angels bring special blessing and messages from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for your good deeds, for your good activities, actions and happiness, and the messages from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that a new avenue of paradise has been opened for you and you are among the successful people. But while they will look, a person who used to go to mosque and right now he is busy with purchasing living,
you know why it is like
living mosque and Taraweeh, how would it be treated and how would it be
Humans
seen?
By nature are emotional creatures. Humans by nature are like that. God is specified in the Holy Quran.
Why not emotions for spirituality?
Sure it is. We are very eagerful. And Pakistani Pakistani nation is very emotional as well. Overly emotional.
I think everybody is emotional since they are happy or they are going through classes.
It's a whole training of 29 days and we suddenly start jumping towards fireworks. Even it's the day of Laylatul Qadr, as you are mentioning that. Why we are doing that? It's in our nature. Human by nature are emotional. What we should do, what we ought to do is something which is clear and cut. Which is, again I would like to clear my point of view, that it's about how sincerely you pray, how much you pray and how much you feel it. That what did you feel during the prayers? If you were doing it for the sake of doing it, just merely doing it because others are doing it, if you're fasting because your family is fasting, it is not going to be of any use. You should...
Your true attachment.
Your true attachment to the Lord, to your Lord, your true love to your Lord. How you're going to enhance your own feelings, how you're going to enhance your own taqwa during the month of Holy Ramadan. These are the things that we should learn from Ramadan.
How can we continue this taqwa, this practice as a result of Ramadan?
I'm not saying that it is very easy to do that. It's very difficult to maintain it. Acquiring things is easier, but maintaining those things is a bit difficult.
Very true.
So what we need to do, we should stick to the rituals that has been specified in the Holy Quran.
Yeah.
We should opt the routine of a true moment. We should think of the hereafter. We should not be specific to our limited thoughts of this worldly things. We should not be demanding the worldly things as well. We should always be thankful to Lord, and we should always stay in touch with Holy Quran, because it is a book that is for the mankind and it is full of hidayah to mankind.
Hidayah, it is guidance. And you might have observed that people have short memory. They keep in their minds, I'm not talking about everybody, but it is our practice, that we would be learning Quran, we would be going to join Hadith circle, and we would be involved all the time, having sometime cap or turban, or our dress would be changed, or attachment with the mosque would be like anybody.
It's not going to end anymore.
Anymore. And they would leave home, and even Alhamdulillah, they would sit for atikaf. Because atikaf is most important phenomena. and it's a part of Ramadan al-Mubarak. So all these things are done. But once Ramadan is gone,
we are changed.
Change. This is hypocrisy.
As I was saying earlier, that we are by nature very emotional. We change. Society, the whole society is like that. It's very difficult to maintain our own self, to maintain the dignity. The external environment is continually trying to change our perception, our way of thinking. We are living in a world where media is so high, where we are being exposed to so many things we should not be. And it is our duty, and it is very, very fundamental, and it's very difficult for us to keep ourselves safe, but we have to keep ourselves safe.
We have to. Why? Because this is need of our culture, this is need of our future, this is need of our akhirat, our departing from here.
That's what I'm saying.
Seeing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Ramadan or Saum or its practices are not
just made
for anybody.
Yeah.
It is not for your parents to make your friends happy or to show it before the people or your relatives who are working with you or visiting you that you are with fasting or something like that. It is purely ibadat or going down before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His will and happiness.
Sure it is.
If he feels, and inshallah certainly he will feel, and I believe that our Ramadan al-Mubarak is a greatest source of connectivity with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. While he will feel, He will send His special blessing and satisfaction from your heart, and you will get message from your heart and mind that your ibadat and dua cannot be ignored. So lessons from Ramadan, how do you see what kind of lessons you get from Ramadan, and how would you convey this message? Convey this message to your generation. Right now you're not married, you're bachelor, it's okay. But next day, tomorrow, you'll be married. So how would you convey the same message for your generation, for your family members, for your relatives, for the rest of the world? Because Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ballighu anni walau kana aya." Convey, communicate the message from me to others, even if it is a single ayah. Ayah means sign. So how would you convey this message?
As far as I'm concerned,
because these are the lessons.
Sure. As far as I'm concerned, what kind of lesson that I get from Ramadan, holy month of Ramadan, I try to act according to a true moment. I try to act like that. I try to achieve that status.
One should imitate at least.
And one should at least strive to be a moment.
Yeah.
And what is to be a moment? It's like sticking to the rituals, basic rituals. You have to get up. You have to offer the prayers into the mosque. You need to recite the Holy Quran. You have to understand the Holy Quran. You have to abstain from few things which are haram in Islam. And it's very simple. If you are going to stick to that routine, you can, in Ramadan, you can maintain that dignity throughout the year. And it would not be very impossible or not very difficult to do that.
Yeah.
It would become very easy for you. So the point is, the lessons of Ramadan, what I learned, Ramadan enhances our taqwa. Ramadan enhances us, taqwa in us, and it tells us how to differentiate between good and bad. And by sticking to that, by knowing that what is good for us, what is bad for us.
So Ramadan draws a line of demarcation between good and bad, right and wrong. So Ramadan Mubarak would create habits which can be continued.
Sure.
Habit of eating, talking, communication, relationship, respect, so on and so forth. So Ramadan practices must be continued, and these must be communicated to our youngsters, that they should know how we sit together, how we celebrate together, how we go for suhoor in the morning, how we get up early in the morning, and there is no anger. It is willingly we are doing it.
Yeah, you can see how beautiful the culture of Islam is, how beautiful the month of Ramadan is, that even the family who is not dining out together, in the holy month of Ramadan, they are dining out together in the Sahari, in the Aftar. So what they are doing, they are coming closer. Unity is spreading among their family. Family relations are being together. Most of the people go to the mosque in Ramadan. They meet each other. They coordinate with each other. Relationships develop during Ramadan. So Ramadan and its blessings are continue and can be continued just if we are going to practice ourselves, if we are going to continue a routine of a true moment. That's the basic demand.
So true moment.
Yeah.
Would continue with practices.
Sure.
And this would be really an opportunity for us to follow blessings of Ramadan. And Ramadan does not mean a specific month. This is a message for rest of the life.
It's one of the training sessions. It's
Your
one
message.
of the my message?
Yeah.
My message to the fellow youngsters would be to get closer to the Lord of all as much as they can, and to incorporate all those instructions, all those guidance from the Holy Quran in their own lives and pass on to the others. And they have to continue those instructions and those feelings throughout the holy month of Ramadan and even after that.
Subhanallah. Ramadan Mubarak is a name of practice, and Ramadan message is to tell the people about the religion of Islam, about the supremacy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which means monotheism, and love with Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and respect for all. This is message of Ramadan. If we continue with the practices of Ramadan, even after the month of Ramadan, it means we fully justified with our fasting. We got what we tried to get during this month. Because blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never end. All the time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to come and be a part of Rahmah. And Allah's blessing for the humanity is not specific. It is general. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks mankind to extend your hand. I am true giver, I'll give you. Ask me, I'll give you. Let's make an intention to be submissive with proper manner and see Allah's blessings during Ramadan and after Ramadan. May Allah bless all of you. Thank you very much for being with us. May Allah give you tawfiq to continue the message of Islam throughout the world. Ameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That is for dhikr, remembering Allah, and rise for the month of Ramadan.